Now for example 2b, we want to find the least common denominator, and then we have two expressions, 7 over x squared minus 4, and then we have x plus 3 over x squared plus x minus 2. Again, we're trying to find the LCD, so we're only really interested right now in the denominator. We'll do the numerators later in another problem. So first let's look at these. Now, in order to find the least common denominator, remember finding the LCD involves the finding the factors. Okay, so we have to factor these. X squared minus 4 is x minus 2, x plus 2. And I factored that similar to the way, exactly with what we would have done in chapter 2. Now, for this one, x squared plus x minus 2, I have x, and then 2 times 1 is 2. Now, this is a positive 1, so that tells me it's a plus 2 and a minus 1, because a positive 2 minus 1 equals 1. Now we look at what is common to both. We have x plus 2 and x plus 2. So what we would do here is we know that what's common is x plus 2. That's one of our factors. And then once we have the common factors, we look at the unique factors. So we have x plus 1 is a unique factor, and then x minus 2 is another unique factor. And so all of that together is going to be the LCD. Okay, it's the least common denominator between this factor, between this. See, this is a binomial, this is a trinomial. So these you have to build, you can't build them kind of in your head the way you've done them before in fractions. So that's how you want to do that. Now let's do some sample problems, and we look at number 3. Okay, now number 3 has, okay, 3, we're looking at the denominators, 36x, and then we have 4x cubed. In this case, the least common denominator as far as numbers is always greater than or equal to your largest number. And since 4 divides into 36, see 36 is 4 times 9, and then I have an x, and then here this is a 4, and then I have 3 x's. So when I look at this, what's going to happen? You can either do it in your head. In your head, you would get 36 x cubed, because 4 goes into 36 evenly, and then x cubed is your largest exponent. But doing it the way that we've been doing it, 9, 4, and x, we have factors here, and then we have 4x, x. Now, what I would do here is look at, well, I have a duplicate, I have a 4. Then I go through and I say, well, those are my common factors, what are my unique factors? 9 is unique. I had an x and an x, these were common. Sorry, 4x is your common factors, then our unique ones are going to be 9, and then these 2 x's over here. So everything when you're done should have an underline. Either it's a duplicate and you write it once, or it is unique and you write it once as well. So then we simplify this. 9 times 4 is 36, and then we have x cubed. So if you can't do it in your head, write it out. Write out what the factors are, and then say, well, what's common and what's not. And just double check, make sure 36x cubed goes evenly into 4x cubed, and it goes evenly into 36x. And it is the least common factor. So that would be the answer for 3. For 4, we have the denominators of x minus 8 and the denominator of x plus 3. Now, there are no duplicates in these two. So what happens is you end up just multiplying them together, similar to when you had a denominator of 4 and 5. Your LCD would be 20. So if there's no duplicates, your answer is x minus 8, x plus 3. You have to repeat both of them to find the LCD. Let's start doing some fractions with denominators that are not the same. That would be example example 3. And in this example, we have 1 over 3x cubed plus 5 over 4x to the 4th. Now, these do not have the same denominator, so first we need to find the LCD. The LCD for these two, the 3 and the 4, have to multiply because they have no common factors. The x cubed and the x fourth, it has 3 x's that are common and then 1 that is unique. So we're going to end up with x to the 4th. Now, to do this next, we have to change each denominator to match the LCD so that we can add them together. And to do this, we multiply each number by a fraction that is equivalent to 1. And it makes the denominator equal to 12x to the 4th. So this would make, we multiply by 4x on this side over 4x. Okay, that's equal to 1 because it's the same thing. It would cancel each other out. And then on this side, we multiply by 3 over 3. Notice each denominator, when I multiply it, is going to equal my LCD. So let's go ahead and multiply that through so that we can add them. So at the top, 1 times 4x is 4x. 3 times 4 is 12. And then we have x cubed times x, which is x to the 4th. Plus 5 times 3 is 15. And then 4 times 3 is 12 x to the 4th. Now, let's go ahead. Same denominator. We're good with the denominators. So let's add our numerators. We have 4x plus 15. These are not like terms, so we cannot add them together. We simply put a plus between them. And that's divided by 12x to the 4th. And that would be your answer. We cannot, if you double check it, make sure there's nothing you can reduce. If you didn't use the LCD, you might have something else in there that you have to, that's common to everything. But in this case, we did use the LCD, so we're good. And we simply need to, write the answer.